So Twiz, man, it happened. Gilly the kid finally got called out for joking on all the other cities. I mean, he's always saying all these other cities have Dookie and designer, different things of that nature, Twiz. He's kind of calling out the other cities.
Yeah, Gil does that, but when Gil do it, it's not no disrespect. You know what I mean? He not challenging, even though some people might take it differently, but he not really, calling people out their names and nothing. It's all most of the time it's either about like rapping or sports or things of that nature.
You just had to imagine eventually somebody was gonna take offense to that. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about how Wallo will change up on jerseys, depending
Hmm.
on what city's gonna win the Super Bowl or who's gonna win the NBA championship. I'm talking about Gilly actually, kind of calling a lot of these cities out for not having the best product when it comes to weed, or more recently calling out the ball players because Gilly always jumps on his platform, and a lot of times he's roasting these, or he's deep frying these, these rappers who want to challenge him, like Jack Harlow or G Herbo
Facts.
or whoever, Twiz.
And I think that it's real important wherever you from. Always stand up and hold it down where you from. You know what I mean? It makes sense to get responses from somebody like Gilly because we know Gilly talk heavy. And whether you're from Atlanta, California, whether it's about clothing, whether it's about rapping, whether it's about sports, hold your city down. You know, don't get worked up about it. You know what I'm saying? It's only one thing to do, and that's proved the point that, your state versus our state. You know what I'm saying? However you want to look at it. It's like, no, we get busy out here too. We can dress too. We can do this too. So it's all friendly competition, man. I love it.
Yep, friendly competition. Not like that one time when I was talking AR Rab about, Cassidy, you know what I mean? Cassidy and Hitman, St. Louis
Yeah.
versus Philly, and everybody on the internet roasted me. But it's interesting that you mentioned that, Twiz, because one of the flag bearers from Atlanta, one of the former mainstays of Atlanta, actually called Gilly out. You know what I mean? And I'm talking
Hmm.
about Parlay from Dem Franchize Boyz. So what are you thinking, when it comes across your computer screen or your desk that one of them franchise boys, oh, I think they like me, is actually dissing Gilly from calling him out, whatever. We'll get into it in a second. He said he slid up on Gilly. But what did you think about that?
I loved it, man. I loved it for two reasons. For three reasons. For one, he stood up for Atlanta. For two, he matched Gilly energy. You gotta match Gilly energy. Like Gilly talk heavy. He's outspoken. So in order to respond to Gilly, you have to respond, you know what I'm saying, with the proper context. You dig what I'm saying? Like you gotta come back properly to Gilly. And for three, I found it unique that a lot of people, you got younger generations or people from my generation. I never knew that he played ball. So that's also letting people know, like, I wasn't just a rapper. I can do this too. Let's make history. You know what I mean? Set up the time and the place. Let's get to it. And as fast as the response was, it was good. And on top of that, he also spoke on Gilly responding that they talked and that they definitely, was going to run ball. So that just was a good joint all around.
So, how about your thoughts overall on, Dem Franchise Boys? Obviously, they had a little bit more of a significant factoring into the music industry. They had about three, four big singles. They
Yeah.
actually went from So So Def to Virgin to Koch Records.
Uh-huh.
Lean with it, rock with it. What was your thoughts on this group back in the day? Obviously, they didn't have that street credibility that the main
Yeah.
figures had.
I liked it because they was in their own lane.
You liked
Like
it.
back, I liked it. I'm not saying I sat around and listened to them, but I like someone to be who they are. You know what I mean? And that's what made sense, and that's what got them their deal. And also, they made music that was great for the clubs and stuff, like Lean With It, Rock With It, stuff like that. People went crazy. You know what I mean? It's that, like how Little John was. Little John wasn't, rapping no gangster stuff. He might have said a few things, but the image fit them, man. It was positivity rap mainly with them.
Well, man, I was not the biggest Dem Franchize Boys fans, you know what I mean?
Facts.
I really didn't feel like they did all that much to propel the Atlanta hip hop. When they got checked the ball, I kind of felt like that scene of Atlanta flopped with it. Maybe in retrospect, I'm wrong because of the fact that it's given birth to what Atlanta has become. But I thought that was
Hmm.
extremely I thought that music was extremely corny compared to
Yeah,
what we see coming out from Young Jeezy and Gucci Man and Young
absolutely.
Thug and Future. I feel like Lean With It, Rock With It was corny. I feel like Oh, I Think They Like Me was corny. I feel like they're just to put it out there, man. So when I
I,
see that Parlay, if you want to pull up on the channel and debate this, but I think it's no debate with who's got the better music between them franchise boys and major figures, even though they
yeah.
attain platinum plaques.
Well, I think it's two different genres of music. Whereas though Major Figures was for the streets. If you came up in the struggle, if you went through certain things in life, it hit you right here. When I hear them franchise boys, of course it's not gonna hit me right there, but it touches the kids in school. It touches, you know, um, especially like, oh, I think they like me and stuff like that. Like it was a certain group of people that music was for them. They like the fun music and things of that nature. But yeah, it's no comparison. You know what I mean? I definitely wasn't riding around listening to them, but I understood what they did and I respect what they did because, like I said, they just was in their own lane. Everybody can't be, Styles P or, what I mean, Jeezy. It wouldn't it wouldn't sound right, especially if you didn't grow up like that. Not saying they didn't, but that just goes for artists, period.
Right. Not to say they didn't grow up like that, because,
Hmm.
in all honesty, with the way that they were putting music out, the party style of music, the big singles, we didn't really get an opportunity to really learn about their actual lifestyle,
That's
how
a
they
fact.
grew up. You know what I mean? We were kind of just shown the glitz and the glamour of it. Now, Parlay said he took big offense to this Dookie and designer bags. I mean, everybody hates getting a bad batch of weed. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, but I've smoked some of the best I ever smoked in Atlanta, Twiz. Mass Pike Miles, when I pulled up to his studio, former Maybach Music recording artist, R&B singer, he put me onto some grade A headband that just, you know what I mean? It blew my
Facts.
mind. So I've smoked some of the best weed ever in Atlanta. So is Gilly just joking when he says that sometimes?
I think he just trolling because it don't matter where you at. Everywhere got gas. We all know when it come to USA, at least Cali was known as having the best. You know what I mean? For years. But you can come out Philly. I might hit one of my folks up that I know got gas, and you might smoke it like, oh, this ain't it. So now it's like you're judging Philly off of what you just smoked through somebody I know. So it's all about who you know and where you getting it from. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gas and I think it's dirt everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so Parlay says Dookie and designer bags. I pulled up with that smoke. He slid, he slid it in his pocket. I don't know about that one right there, man. Gilly is not known. Okay, maybe if Gilly had some of Dookie and designer bag that he had already bought in Atlanta, and you pulled up Parlay with the gas, I could see him then sliding it in his pocket and grabbing some of your chronic. But
Yeah.
any other way, I don't really. Gilly is always the type. Every time I've run into Gilly, Gilly is the type of person that's smoking an L to the head.
Well, if you bump into Gilly, a true herb smoker, you can have a ounce of some power on you, but if you come to my city or in my area and I give you something, you're gonna accept it. You might not smoke it right then and there. You might smoke it and be like, this garbage, but you still gonna accept it. You know what I'm saying?
And let's be real, Gilly was just going through it on $1 million worth of games. I think at the top of the year with Wiz, you know what I mean? With Wiz
Hmm.
Khalifa, they were having smoke offs and all types of stuff like that. I mean, so Wiz Khalifa is the iconic weed rapper. Dem Franchize Boyz were not known as the weed rappers.
Definitely, definitely. You know what I mean? And on top of that, shout out to Gilly and shout out to the city. But Philly don't got the best tree in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get Dookie and designer out Philly in a heartbeat, bro. You know what I mean? But there is people that have gas, and the best tree that you're gonna get, if it's not from the dispensary, it's coming from somewhere else. You know what I mean? When it comes to Philly, you dig what I'm saying?
A parlay said Gilly and Wallo accept the offer. We ain't got a gym. If we ain't got a gym, I got a private location. So basically, parlay is calling them out to ball. He said, F all the talking. You said you want action. It's lined up. You can pull up if you're a real baller. Hit me for the location. DM me for the location. Gilly and Wallo are usually balling with the younger generation, or
Yeah.
Gilly legitimately is balling on television and nationally televised games. Are they going to accept this offer?
I think Gilly will absolutely accept the offer because someone called them out.
They're kind of
Now,
old heads.
what they have to do is, but they in shape though. Gil and Wallow in
Well, they
shape.
are.
Yeah, but you know, whoever gets on that court, it's no excuses. You can't come in there and be like, I'm out of shape. I got tired. My knee bad. I'm not used to these courts. It's no excuses. If you step in that game right there, you have to be a baller and you got to represent where you're from. Now the question is, who will Gilly and Wallow have with them? Because now you challenge in Atlanta, so your other three players got to be from Philly, bro. And also, y'all better get that on camera. We don't want to hear about what happened. We don't want the different stories. This person said no. We want to see it now. Y'all making the big deal about it. Get that on camera. Let the people judge.